What if the most real place you've ever been wasn't real at all? What if a dream could feel more vivid, more meaningful than your waking life? Have you ever had a dream that felt so vivid, so utterly real, that when you woke up, you had to take a moment to figure out where you were? I'm not just talking about a regular run-of-the-mill dream. I'm talking about an experience that sticks with you, one that blurs the line between your sleeping mind and your waking world. A dream that, for a few fleeting moments, felt more real than your actual life. I had one of those recently, and it's something I haven't been able to shake. It's made me question everything I thought I knew about consciousness, reality, and the incredible power of our own minds. It started like any other night. I went to bed, tired from a long day, and drifted off. But this time, I didn't fall into the usual jumble of strange scenes and nonsensical plots. Instead, I woke up, or so I thought, in a place that was both familiar and completely new. It was a city, bathed in the soft golden light of a perpetual sunset. The air was warm, and it carried the scent of rain-soaked earth and something sweet, like night-blooming jasmine. The buildings were a stunning mix of old-world architecture and futuristic design, with intricate carvings alongside sleek, glowing lines. I was standing on a cobblestone street, and I could feel the texture of each stone under my bare feet. That was the first thing that struck me, the detail. Usually, in dreams, the little things are fuzzy. You don't notice the texture of the ground or the individual leaves on a tree. But here, everything was crystal clear. I looked down at my hands, and I could see the fine lines on my palms, the little hairs on my knuckles. It was my hand, but in this light, it looked different, almost ethereal. There was a sense of peace in this place that I can't quite describe, a feeling of belonging, of being exactly where I was supposed to be. I wasn't alone. People were walking by, their faces calm and content. They'd nod and smile as they passed, and I'd smile back. There was no sense of urgency, no rushing or stress. It was as if everyone was living in a perfect, harmonious moment. I started walking, with no particular destination in mind, just exploring this incredible city. I found a small cafe with open-air seating. A friendly-looking barista waved me over and handed me a cup of what smelled like spiced tea, without me even having to order. He just seemed to know. As I sat there, sipping the tea, and I could taste it, the warmth, the complex blend of cinnamon and cardamom, I watched the world go by. In this dream world, I wasn't the person I am in my waking life. I felt lighter, free from the anxieties and responsibilities that usually weigh me down. I had conversations with strangers that felt like I was reconnecting with old friends. We talked about art, music, the nature of the universe, deep, meaningful topics that flowed effortlessly. There was a library that stretched up into the clouds, where books wrote themselves with stories from every person who had ever dreamed. I spent what felt like days there, reading tales of adventure, love, and discovery. Time didn't seem to work the same way. An hour could feel like a minute, and a minute could stretch into an eternity. One of the most profound moments was when I found myself standing on a high balcony overlooking the entire city. The sun, forever setting, cast long, beautiful shadows. Below me, the city glowed with a life of its own, and in that moment, I felt a connection to everything, to the city, to the people, to the very fabric of this reality. It was a feeling of pure, unadulterated joy and understanding. It wasn't just a happy dream, it was a state of being. I felt more myself in that dream than I often do when I'm awake. I was more confident, more creative, more at peace. It was the best version of me living in a perfect world. And then I woke up. The transition was jarring. One second I was on that balcony, bathed in golden light, feeling completely whole. The next I was in my bed, in the dark, with the familiar sound of my alarm clock buzzing. For a few seconds, I was completely disoriented. The dream world felt so solid, so tangible, that my bedroom seemed fake in comparison. The memory of the dream city was so strong, it was like a phantom limb. I could almost still smell the jasmine and taste the spiced tea. The feeling of peace was still lingering, but it was fading, being replaced by the mundane reality of another Tuesday morning. That whole day, and for many days after, I felt a strange sense of loss, almost like I was homesick for a place that doesn't exist. Or does it? The experience was so powerful, it forced me to ask some big questions. What is reality anyway? Is it just what we perceive with our five senses? Our brains create our entire experience of the world based on electrical signals. The dream felt just as real, sensorially, as my waking life. The emotions I felt were certainly real. The joy, the peace, those were as genuine as any emotion I've ever felt while awake. So if a dream can evoke such real feelings and create such a detailed, consistent world, what makes it less real than our waking life? Philosophers and scientists have debated this for centuries. Some ancient cultures believed that the dream world was a parallel dimension, a place our souls travel to when we sleep. Modern neuroscience tells us it's our brain's way of processing information, consolidating memories, and working through emotions. It's like a nightly simulation, a virtual reality created by our own mind. But calling it just a simulation feels like an understatement when the experience is so profound. This dream made me realize how much of our reality is constructed inside our own heads. Our perception, our mindset, our emotional state, they all color the world we experience. The dream city was peaceful and beautiful because in that state, my mind was peaceful and free from anxiety. It wasn't the external place that created the feeling, it was my internal state that projected itself onto the world around me. This was a huge revelation. It means we have more power over our reality than we think. If our mind can create a perfect, harmonious world in a dream, maybe we can bring a little bit of that into our waking lives. Maybe the point isn't to escape into our dreams, but to learn from them, to understand what our minds are capable of creating, and to try and replicate those positive states when we're awake. Since that dream, I've been making a more conscious effort to find moments of peace and beauty in my everyday life, to engage with people more openly, to slow down and appreciate the small details, just like I did in the dream city. I'm trying to be more like the version of myself I met in the dream, more creative, more confident, less anxious. It's not easy, but the memory of that dream serves as a powerful reminder of what's possible. It's a blueprint for a better state of being. I don't know if I'll ever go back to that city. Part of me desperately hopes I will. But even if I don't, the experience has changed me. It's opened my mind to the incredible mystery of consciousness and the hidden depths of our own inner worlds. It's a reminder that there's more to reality than what we see on the surface. So the next time you have a powerful dream, don't just dismiss it. Pay attention to it. What is it trying to tell you? What feelings does it bring up? You might just find that your dreams hold the keys to understanding your waking life in a much deeper way. What about you? Have you ever had a dream that felt more real than life? I would love to hear your stories and your thoughts in the comments below. It's a fascinating topic, and I think we can all learn a lot from sharing our experiences.